Just read a poll saying that less than 50% of Americans are completely assured that they believe in God. Now, the problem with that is that there is now a majority of Americans who have their doubts about God. And so when I take a look at the landscape of this great country that we live in, the United States of America, I hear numbers like that and I begin to weep. Because on one hand, there is at least the 49% that they are firm. What does it seem? That they are firm in their faith. So on one hand, I will take that. I'll be happy to see that. But on the other side of that, for the first time in our country's history, we have people who are beginning to say that they are the nones, the N-O-N-E-S. They do not believe in God. Now, God is still there. God is not changing. He is there. But we've gotten so comfortable in our country that we have pushed God to the side. We sense or we feel like we no longer need Him. And God is drawing us to Him. He's calling us out. And He's asking us that we would come to Him. The problem is much of the nation has said, we're not going to come to you. And we've become more and more like the prodigal. That prodigal son that said, you know what, I'm gonna go do my own thing. And that has been a troubling aspect of our nation now for decades. And we started that when it took place in the schools. I'm 54 years old, and I can remember seeing actually the 10 Commandments up on the wall of where the school that I went to. But by the time I got to the 7th grade, the middle school, I noticed that plaque was removed. Yeah, it may have been just a plaque, and did we ever recite that when I was a kid? No, we didn't. But that plaque was up on the wall, and I knew it was. As we understood that there was sin. We understood that you should not steal, you should not bear false witness. All those things that are where you see the 10 Commandments that are listed out. And someone and a group of people and a movement of people decided that, you know what, we're going to take that away from the kids, my generation, and now my generation. And we're experiencing the possibility of having, many of us are grandparents. And now we've seen several generations being removed from faith. And so we should not be somehow thinking that this is out of the norm, that when you start removing faith from the next generation, you'll see consequences for it. Is there a possible change that can take place? Yeah, and I would say yes. I'm actually videoing this from a mock-up bathroom in a high school in which I'm able to teach. It's after hours and the kids are gone, and we made up this little mock bathroom here. And the kids were able to, teenagers were able to come together as a team and work on it. That's exciting to see that. But the one thing as a teacher, I really have my hands tied behind my back, and that is, as a man of faith, I cannot share my faith with them. I could, but I'd be walked out the door fairly quickly. Because I do believe in Jesus Christ, and I believe that it's such a struggle not to be able to say something to them, because that is the answer. That is the key. God is the healer. God the Father is the healer, and through Jesus Christ we have salvation, and the Holy Spirit. Oh, what a counselor. What an amazing friend we have in the Holy Spirit. What an amazing friend we have in God. And so I come to you saying that our country, our culture, our families, ourselves, we need revival. I need revival. Lord, what are those things that are in my heart that need to change? Show me, give me discernment of what to say and when not to say. May we be led by the Holy Spirit. our nation desperately needs salvation. And so when I take a look at Pure Assembly and what we're trying to do, I ask that you would help us. I'm taking the teaching job. On one hand, I love teaching. I love being able to be with the next generation. But there's also this call that's on my life that says, you know what, we need to be able to see a church revived. And right now, Pure Assembly is working with pastors and ministry leaders. We come together once a month. Right now, it's in the Michiana area, the Indiana, Michigan area. And we love to be able to expand that. When we see pastors and ministry leaders come together, not only through the state, but also help and guide throughout the nation in regards to this. We want to be able to also help champion chaplains and others that can actually come into schools. We've seen that kind of legislation take down in Texas. But where we can see that we understand that there is a need for the soul to cry out. We also, with Pure Assembly, we also believe that it's time for the church to be able to come together, the Big C church to be able to come together. And that's why we are holding these assemblies, prayer assemblies, where we're looking eventually to possibly go across the nation. Right now, we've held some within the South Bend, Mishawaka, northern Indiana, southern Michigan territory. And that's where we're going to be for right now, until God calls us to more things. So I ask that you would help us in that endeavor. There's a lot of other organizations that are doing some of the same things, and we want to see not a competition with those things, but we want to see us be able to come together, because such a time as this, our country needs saved, and the only one that can save it, God bless the politicians, but the only one that can save it is Jesus Christ, our Father, through the Holy Spirit, through Jesus Christ. And so I ask that you would help Pure Assembly and our team. We're going to need your funds to do that. We're going to need your prayers to do that. And so we ask for your prayers. We ask that you would come before God, and that we would be able to see revival in this land, that we would see God heal it. And that happens through prayer. That happens through forgiveness of sin. That happens through God simply saying, yes, I will heal you. Thank you. Thank you for how you've helped out with Pure Assembly. And so we simply ask that you would, we ask for more at this point in time. Ask for more prayer. We do ask that you would be able to help the missionaries with Pure Assembly as well. And to do that, just simply go to pureassembly.com, pureassembly.com, and you'll find a donate button there. That would definitely help. May this nation be saved. We don't believe this is the end of this country. We believe that this can be a very powerful time in which God reveals himself. He's been doing that in so many different ways in 2023, and we are looking forward to seeing that happen now. God bless you, and I'll see you soon.